Hello, everyone. This is Daryl Andrews, Coach D, the virtual motivator, coming back to you again. I actually added another stream. That's more my personal Facebook stream. I typically don't add that stream too much, but that's more friends and family and all that. So, but I think this message is relevant to everybody. So, um, for those of you who don't know, what we're going to be doing is 8 days of overcoming obstacles. All right, overcoming obstacles to reinvention and rebranding. In other words, every year people are trying to create this new you, but I just want to say this just to kind of help everybody out a little bit. And it's in 10 o'clock every day until the new year. All right, that we're going to be doing this. All right. Everybody trying to create the new you, but in order to create the new you, you have to face the old you. Okay. Good morning. Good morning, Aaron. Good to have you back on again. A man from Mexico. That's what I'm talking about. Good job, man. Good to be way to stay with us on this. But keep in mind, in order, and if you're taking notes, again, take this down. In order to become the new you, you have to face the old you. And this is what happens with people, because I'm in the people business. I've been doing this stuff for a long time. People have a tendency, we all do, not just, I'm not trying to say you and I'm not included, but we all have a tendency to define ourselves. Think about this, to define ourselves by our life experiences. And we get to a point, right, where we say, this is who I am. Think about that. We get to a point where we say, this is who I am. Now think about the power of those words. Once you have now boxed yourself into this is who I am, how in the world are you going to ever become what you want to be? Please think about what I'm saying right now. If you like me, love me, or hate me, just listen to my words. How in the world am I going to, get to this point where I'm going to become this new person? All right. And this old person is just so defined by the past that it doesn't want you to become that new person. Good morning, my friend Oscar. Got Louisiana in the house. This is a message every day, 10 o'clock. I'm talking about Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Because this is what I'm tired of. I've had the honor and privilege of working with a lot of people over the years, lots of people. I mean, coaching, individual coaching, business coaching, speaker coaching, reinvention coaching. We've done all of that. But I find that you have some, no matter what knowledge you give them, they break through. They break through. And then you have a lot of people, okay? A lot of people, this is important, a lot of people who hold on to that old man. I got my man Paul, one of my mentees is on here from Nairobi, Kenya. This is a powerful young man. If you see his name in the chat feature, you need to connect with him. Powerful, powerful. Paul, we need to connect for the new year because it's time to elevate what you're doing over there in Kenya, man. And we talked about it, but now we need to be strategic. So we're gonna reach out to you. So what I'm trying to say is this. This is different. I know I'm talking about obstacle day 2, overcoming fear, but I want to talk about overcoming us for a moment. Because what happens is we have a tendency to be so stuck on this premise, and that's all it really is a premise of this is who I am. And when you now say to yourself, this is who I am, but then you say, I'm going to become this new person, I'm going to go this new direction, that old person is going to say to you, no, you're not. No, you're not. Okay. All right. Remember what I've been talking about all this past year, when I've been talking about brain set. And some of you have never heard that term before. When I talk about brain set, and I said, brain set is deeper than mindset. Hear me. All right. Those who came for motivational speech, go to the next person. I ain't here to be no motivational speaker today. I'm here to give you some strategy. See, but what a brain set basically says, the difference between brain set and mindset is mindset. There's some things you can do to adjust, and you can do growth mindset, and you get the growth and fixed mindset and things of that nature. But brain set is when your brain has internalized these patterns that you've created as normal and will fight you to hold on to them. Listen to what I'm saying. It will fight you to hold on to them. So what happens is this. You now say, I'm going to change. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to try all of these different things. And you know the story. By the middle of the January, like I go to, I don't go anymore because I got this other place I work out now, but I used to go to this Bear Glasgow YMCA. And, January was frustrating to me because I work out all the time. And we would go to things like spin class and all of that. And it was packed. You couldn't even get a bike. And you're like, man, why all these people show up? I said, I've been doing this all year long. And now you got 9,000 people in here trying to get it together. And you're like, man, that's not fair. I do these bikes all the time. Then we got to the point, those of us who were consistent would say, well, just give it to the middle of January. And guess what? Middle of January, we were back to our normal patterns because people didn't even last a full month. Why? Because that old person, this is important, that old person is controlling the new. Please hear what I'm saying. The old person is controlling the new. So now you may think this is weird. Those of us as Christians understand that. You know what I mean? We understand scripture and we say that any man be in Christ, he's a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are new. So from a Christian perspective, we put the word on it and say, God, but I'm going to say this to my fellow Christians. Some of us say that and then we still don't do it. Why? Because that old nature just continues to just jump into your grill and say, no, we've been this way too long. We like us. Those of you who know me know I'm a little radical like that. I say crazy stuff, but I love what I do. We like us. We like eating that food. We like, spending money out of control. We like, not making good choices. We like that. That old nature loves itself because keep in mind what I talked about yesterday, and we'll keep hearing it over and over again, the chemical pathways. Your mind has been programmed through these chemical pathways. See, your mind is only going to do what you tell it to do. It's only going to do what you tell it to do. My friend, my man, Derek, come on, Derek. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's only going to do, listen, not to sound all spooky and spacey and mystical and all that, but why is it that some people can say, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, whatever it may be, write a book or, build a business or whatever. And then they do it. You know what I mean? They get it done. And other people say they're going to do it and they don't even get on first base. What's the difference between this? They're all people. Listen, if you're like me, I mean, unfortunately, we have people with disabilities and my heart goes out to them, but we got our fingers, we got our eyes, ears, nose, mouth, head, brain. What's the difference? There's no difference. They're humans like you. That's why I always tell people, I remember Oprah said something that was really powerful. She said, I'm no different than anybody else. It's just that millions of people know me. Think about that. She said, I'm no different. I'm human just like you are. But millions of people know me. But she created systems that caused millions of people to know her. She was consistent with those systems. She was willing to face her challenges as a Black woman that back then Black women wasn't doing what she was doing. So Oprah had to deal with mindset and brain set. You know what I mean? She was talking about back then, they were talking about, how she was, overweight. And she didn't look at any of that as an obstacle. Or if she did, she fought through it. And so what I'm trying to say is, as we go into this new year, it's so important. And if you want to put comments in the comment section, please do, because I like to hear what you're thinking. As we go into this new year, don't even set a goal of doing anything until you set a goal of internal change and internal resolve. Don't do it. Why? You're just going to frustrate yourself. You just be goalless. Don't even have a goal. Because it doesn't make sense to every year say I'm going to do something and never do it. This journey I've been on from all these years, you don't realize the obstacles I've had to face. I still face them. I'm a Black-owned business. I'm an African-American male. You know what I mean? I didn't attend Harvard or Yale. And so what you have is from an organizational perspective and from individuals, sometimes individuals, they can't see you for who you are. So all you hear is the pessimism. Who we think he is. Oh, he this or that. And then they start labeling you and all that kind of stuff, all because you're trying to pursue something, all because you're trying to achieve a goal. We're going to talk about friendships tomorrow, because another obstacle, people. We're going to dig into that tomorrow. This is the day subject is fear. And I haven't gotten to fear yet because I'm telling you about this other stuff. But the reality is my life has been a series. Listen to this. For those of you who think it's been easy for Coach, my life has been a series of overcoming obstacles through repositioning my mindset. And in the process, I've lost a lot of people who think that, you think you're better than me or you whatever. But you know what, man? I only got one life to live. And I can't spend my entire life trying to please everybody. That's tomorrow's message, but I'm giving you a little taste of it today. So your dream has to be bigger. Write this down. This is important. Your dream has to be bigger than your obstacles. Type it in. Your dream has to be bigger than your obstacles. See, my young mentee that's on here, Paul from Kenya, he can say I come from this nation with, all these different obstacles and all these challenges and, and all these different things. But in the midst of Kenya with extreme poverty and, abandoned children, this guy is doing motivational programs and inspiring people and helping young folks and helping adults. He could easily say, man, I'm from Nairobi, and I know a story and I don't want to tell a story because that's his story to tell. But the reality is he could have looked at all those obstacles this young man, if you knew his story, it would be amazing. All these obstacles Paul had to overcome. In some cases, maybe still overcoming to become the man. Now he has books out. You know what I mean? Let me see if I think I have one over here. Let me see. Do I have one of his books? I had one of, I'm sorry, Paul, I had it over here, but I've repositioned my office. But he had to overcome all these obstacles to be able to do what he's doing today. So I'm just trying to say to you, you don't let the old person control the destiny. Think what I'm saying, of the new person. You want to reinvent yourself. You want to rebrand yourself. You got to go new. Like clothes. Let's talk about clothes for a moment. I don't know about you, but I got stuff in my closet from like 15 years ago. All right. 15 years ago. They're still sitting in there. Some of it, if you're like me, I'm old school. I'm sorry. Just the way I am. I still wear some of that stuff. Anybody else out there? Come on, help me out. Type some of this in the chat feature. Don't make me feel like I'm that old school. I still have shirts that I bought 15 years ago. I still pop them on every now and then. You know what I mean? I still have pants that I wore. Thank goodness I can still fit them. That's because I go to the gym every day. That I wore from back then. I can still pop them on. They're still kind of fashionable. You see? But the reality is, man, when I buy some new clothes, and you put that new shirt on and you put those new pair of pants on, man, everything changes. I talk to my ladies out there. Ladies, when you put something new on, your walk changes, your swagger changes. New pair of shoes, new dress. You know what I'm saying? Comfort clothes. That's right, Aaron. You rocking it. But if you wear something you had 10 years ago, you just flop it on whatever today. I'm just putting something on. The point I'm trying to make is it makes you feel special when you have on new clothes, new shoes, new suit. That's how you feel when you become a new person. I want you to think about that. When you become a new person, that's what I'm talking about, Kareem. Straight up. You feel new. You feel good. Like I'm telling you, man, reason why I keep working out, because I've got these goals. I haven't hit them yet. I got pictures up on the wall. I'm actually looking at this bodybuilding thing and thinking about, man, I need to get back in it and really go deep in the bodybuilding. So don't be surprised if by 2021, you see this super buff Coach D. Why? I want to know what it feels like to do that at my age. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? You got senior bodybuilders and they kicking it. And I'm like, why not? See, why? Because that's something new, man. That's fresh. It's not new in the sense of working out because I work out all the time. But that next phase where I can bodybuild, man. Then I walk out there and say, this dude look like he's 20-something. I was like, no, I'm a whole lot older than that. Because why? I want that feeling of the new. So as you're going into the new year, realize that you have to do what it takes internally to become the new you. And one of those things you're going to have to do, so I can make sure I stay on point here, is you're going to have to overcome fear. Now, again, those of us are Christians understand the scripture when it comes to that, where it says God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. You know, people that aren't Christians understand the scriptures are powerful. And that's why I love being able, because I can pull scriptures and it just totally changes my life. Like that scripture, when it says that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of we can end it there and that's good enough. But what's really powerful with the next part, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Well, that showed me, man, that's who I am. I'm powerful. I'm a loving person and my mind is clear. But it shows you also, here's the thing. I want to point this out because it's important. And that is the opposite of those things are caused by fear, doubt, disbelief, hating people, crazy mind. What that's saying is fear causes all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Fear causes us to despise other people. Fear causes us to not see the potential of the things we want to accomplish. Fear is just a terrible, terrible hindrance to progress. Thank you, Kareem. It's a hindrance to progress. And so I'm saying this, why I'm doing these obstacles is because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Every year you got people that's going to fire you up. For all my motivational speakers, friends out there, don't hate me on this one. Don't be a hater. I'm just telling the truth. I've been at this a long time with many of you. Many of y'all out there know who I am. But I'm at a point now where I'm tired of seeing people talk about things and never accomplish them. That's where I am. You know, it's nice to get you all motivated and inspired. But then I see you a year later, 2 years, 3 years later, and half the things you said you were going to do, you never did. And I'm like, man, we went through that speech and laid stuff out and you didn't do anything. I want to start seeing, and I have seen, I can sit there and tell you 2 hours of success stories. But I want to start seeing people do something with, you know, people pay for all these coaching programs, coaching packages. It's so funny, like people, all these speaker coaches out there, did 5 speeches themselves, and now they're a coach. I'm like, you coaching after doing 3 speeches? You know, and what they do is they're playing on your emotions. You want to speak, so you hear this person, you don't check and see if they actually did what they said they're telling you about, you know, but you do it because you got the motivation. Hey, I'm going to pay for so-and-so's program. And then a year later, you realize you don't become a successful speaker by 10 steps to successful speaking. You become, but when you're willing to put your feet to the freaking fire, man, and stay the course until people start to recognize who you are. Les Brown told me that a long time ago. He tells his story. He tells you the obstacles, man. He tells how he had to sleep in his office for a year. That ain't that, he'll motivate you, but what I love about Les is going to tell you what he had to go through. And he had to go through the obstacles, the challenges. And I'm sure he dealt with a lot of negativity. Yes, the disbelief. There you go, man. Stay in the course. That's right, Kareem. You see? And so the thing I want you to understand is fear is one of the things that will hinder us and trip us up from accomplishing the goal that we have. Listen to this. I'm going to tell you the definition of fear. All right. An unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that something or someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or threat. Think about this. Fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or threat. Now, here's the thing that's amazing. Here's what's amazing about this. That sometimes the things that's tripping us up aren't even things. It's just the way we think. So we have fear of something that doesn't even exist, that we made it up. Fear what people are going to think about me. Who cares what they think about you? My whole life has been a series of understanding that people aren't going to like me. Whenever you make a choice to do something with your life, you're going to automatically create haters, family and friends. I'm telling you right now. By doing nothing but just pursuing your dream. You haven't done anything to anybody. You never done anything to hurt anybody. But it doesn't matter. Come on, Kathy. Yes, it doesn't matter. But the byproduct of you pursuing a dream is people are going to despise you, because you're going to be a reflection in the mirror, and they're going to look at their lives and say, man, they're going to compare. I can't tell you the amount of people that have compared themselves to me. And I'm like, I'm not trying to outdo nobody. I'm not trying to compete. I just want to maximize my God-given potential in my lifetime. That's all I want to do. And I want to see other people do it. The people I mentor, the people I've inspired over the years, when they come back to me and tell me what they've done, man, I knuckle bump, chest bump, high five, everything. I'm excited for them. Because why? That's my purpose. But we get caught up in fear of what people are going to think about us, and we stop. We don't do anything because, oh, so-and-so going to think about us. This friend, this family member, this and that, going to think this way about me. And it's nothing but jealousy and envy. You can't let that stuff stop you from moving forward. You know what I mean? Your dream has to be bigger. Remember I said earlier, your dream, I'm going to type it in the chat feature. Your dream has to be bigger than your obstacle. You guys, Cream, thank you. I just noticed that you shared this. You guys need to share this stuff, man. Get this out to your friends. Share this on your Facebook pages. Share this on your, share this on your LinkedIn pages, man. This stuff we're doing here, I'm talking about stuff people aren't talking about. They're going to just get you fired up because they're trying to get you fired up so you can buy that $20,000 package that ain't going to work. I'm not trying to hate on them folks. I'm not trying to take business out of people's pockets. What I'm trying to say is life is about strategy, not emotion. It's about strategy. Take that emotional stuff out of it. Now, emotional is good when it's helping you move forward. But when you get all caught up and all amped up and this and that, and then you don't do anything, man, that becomes frustration. So fear of people, fear of the inability to do something. Nobody in my family has ever done this before. Nobody has ever accomplished this before. I remember when I went to college, I was a first generation college student, man. And I thought, man, I didn't know. I dropped out of college my first year. I had to go back. That's a whole story, 5 garbage bags in a dream and chicken soup for the African-American soul. That story is one of the top stories in that book. All right. The chicken soup for the African-American soul. My story, 5 garbage bags in the dream. So I had to go back to college because I dropped out because I kept stumbling and making mistakes. Why? I'm a first generation college. I didn't have anybody to talk to about college. And so I was fearful. I doubted. I didn't know if I can do the classes. My first year GPA was terrible. But then one day I was having a conversation with a friend and I realized I can do this. And so I went back. Yes, I went back to college and I graduated, became a first generation college graduate with a degree in business administration and marketing at an HBCU, the first HBCU. All right. I'm very proud of Cheney University. Very proud of my university. They gave me a chance when nobody else would. And I'm just here to say that if I would have been caught up in the old who I was, worried about what people think, thinking I don't have the ability to do this, people saying negative things all the time, again, family and friends, then I wouldn't be on this call talking to you today. I wouldn't be doing this because I would have been so caught up in all the perceptions, all the attitudes, all the dispositions. It could happen on the job. Somebody, thank you, Aaron. That's right. Shameful, afraid. There you go, Aaron, my friend from Mexico. I mean, just literally, Paul, you chime in and tap some knowledge in here because you're a knowledgeable young man too. Type in the chat feature, man, some thoughts on what I'm sharing right now. We'd love to hear your input from Kenya because you've been doing this stuff for a long time, working for them. There you go. There you go. There it is, Stephanie. Look, I got my peeps popping up from all over. That's my friend over in Lubbock, Texas. Stephanie, do a lot of work with her team over there. Good to see you. And Merry Christmas to you, my friend. So that's right. Going back and staying the course, change the generational road for your family. Bingo. There it is. I look at my children, man, the life they're living and the things they're doing, and I'm proud of them because my wife and I decided we're going to stay the course with a specific outcome, despite the stuff that comes with it. So what I'm trying to say is we can't fear people. We can't fear, we can't fear I didn't do this before. Or it's never been done before. Like next year, I got some stuff I'm doing that's like, man, the average person would be fearful because I got big dreams and vision for our business. As many of you know, I've partnered, I have several, I shouldn't say several, really 4 pretty strong business partners. One is Johnny McGowan. Jay Ski of JD and the Trainer, and we're doing the podcast. If you see the link there, click on and follow that podcast, because every week we're going to be, laying out some strategies for transformation and reinvention. This is going to be good for my workforce development people too. Share it with your clients. Let them know about it, and then we're going to be doing some webinars and training programs. All that's coming. That's all in the mix, and then I got my friend Pierre Campbell. When we're analyzing and putting some things together, we're going to be doing some training, some coaching and things like that. And Rachel Revel, who's doing this time management piece. Rachel's been a lifelong friend for me. I've known her pretty much all my life, and she's a time management and efficiency expert. Just showing folks out. So we brainstorming around all these different resources. We're going to do these webinars and online courses and things like that. Why? It's not that any of us are perfect. It's because we have a dream and we're not going to let anything stop us from achieving it. You can't let things hinder you. You got to look at it as your life. So let's look at fear one more time. I just want to say fear real quick. Take a look at this. Fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. So keep in mind how powerful that statement is. It can likely cause a threat, even though it can't threaten. Like if it's in your mind, what is it going to do to you? It's like in your mind. What's it going to jump out of your mind and get you? It's in your mind. It's in your head. And so what you got to say, this is ridiculous. What am I fearing this for? The fear of failure. I'm in the public speaking business. This is number one. I'm in speaking and training. Everybody's scared of standing up in front of people and saying something, but I get up every day and do it. Why? Not because I'm perfect, because you know what? I take things on, and I want you to do the same thing. Take it on. Take it on. You're going to get criticized. You're going to get talked about. There's probably people looking at this saying, who do you think he is? I don't know. But the reality is I can't live for them. I got to live for a future that's going to produce a specific outcome. You know what I mean? Why? Not for me, so I can pump my chest and beat my chest, for the betterment of humanity, for the betterment of my children. I can't even count the number of people I've influenced with my work. You know what I mean? And I'm not Zig Ziglar or Brian Tracy, them dudes that made hundreds of millions of dollars at this work. That's not who I am. But I'm proud of what I've done because I was able to overcome fears that would have hindered me because I've never done it before. Our first generation, people saying negative things and all of that. All right. And so I want to share that one with you. And then there's a couple more thoughts. So just remember, mind, most of those fears, like when we talk about false evidence appearing real, Zig started saying that years ago. There's some truth to that. Now, there's some truth to real fears. Like I was joking with somebody yesterday, and I said, if one of the groups I was training out in Arizona, I said, if a lion walks down the street, all right, if a lion walks down the street, and you say that's false evidence appearing real, you about to become part of the meal plan. You better be scared. You going down the street, you see a lion coming up the street, man, you better climb a tree. Boy, they can climb trees. I don't know. Get behind the door, go somewhere where they can't get you, especially if it's a hungry lion, because you're going to be part of the meal plan. So you need to be fearful. So fear, in essence, is a good thing in realistic, dangerous situations, because what it does is causes you to react. But it's dangerous when it's not that type of situation and it's consuming you. So as you look at going into the 2021, overcome the barrier of fear. Okay, overcome the barrier of fear. And let me just give you a few strategies for that. Okay, because keep in mind, my work is motivation and information. So motivation without information is simply a good conversation. So the first thing is this: take time out. It's possible to think clearly when you're flooded. It's impossible to think clearly when you're flooded with fear and anxiety. So when you feel the fear, pause. Say, why am I feeling this way? Where is this coming from? And I always say, peel back the onion and look at, what's the foundational root of this? What's causing this? All right. Imagine, this is strange, but imagine the worst. Okay, because of this crazy and this thing that's going through my head, what's the worst case scenario? And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna find it's really me making this up. This is not gonna happen. I just believe it in my mind that it can happen. Another thing too is look at the evidence. Look at the historical patterns and say, it's really interesting. Just look at the patterns and say to yourself, man, Are these patterns me making these patterns up, or are they real? Because a lot of times what you fear is going to happen never even happens. And so why allow it to continue to cause you to fearful? Look at what Paul's typing here. Y'all need to hope y'all can read this. But Paul says, growing up as an orphan, rejected by my kin, having to fight through a lot of battles in life. This is my young man from Nairobi, Kenya. Fear was in my life every day. I wondered how people would see me, think of me. But the day I overcame fear, I became unstoppable. I realized my brain was playing me not to unleash my potential. Boom. Man, I'm telling you, Paul, you and I got to get on one of these. I got to figure out how we're going to do it. We're going to do it before next week. I'm going to get you on. We're going to share the screen, and I want you to share your story. Okay, so let's connect, and we're going to look at next week because we'll look at the time. I know it's a time difference, but I want you on to share your story. So let's make sure we reach out and talk about that because I have a technology that the technology I'm using, we can do that. Okay, because you need to be on here. I want people to hear your story. All right. And so this is what I'm saying right here. A young man from Nairobi, Kenya, who grew up as an orphan, rejected by his family. That happens to a lot of people. It's happened to me for some family members. Complete rejection for no logical reason. Never done anything. I haven't done anything. I haven't said anything. Haven't disrespected anybody. I just simply go it up every day and totally reject it. But that's okay. This man is saying over here in Nairobi, rejected. Because why? This young man he had all kinds of stuff going on in his life. But the reality is, he said, he realized his brain was trying to stop him. And all those obstacles will try to stop you from maximizing your potential. You can't let that happen. You can't let that happen. You got to understand the reality of the matter is this is your life to live. And a couple more things. Don't try to be perfect. That's another problem. That's another challenge. Don't try to be perfect. I remember when I first started speaking, man, I was always trying to worry about, man, am I going to say this right? Am I saying that right? Man, please, man, get up there and speak from your heart. You know what I mean? I'm doing these virtual programs now, and we got people not just motivated, but we're gaining insights and grabbing forth with new directions. We're transforming organizations. We've gotten a real good piece of action in the area of equity. And organizations are bringing me and my team in to work with their senior leaders to talk about equity and inclusion. But the way we're doing it is so effective that you got people that think that if you talk about this, you're making me feel like I'm racist. We got them feeling like, no, we're not looking at you as racist. You're lacking knowledge. And we're giving you information that's going to change the way you see things from a bias perspective. Pierre Campbell's a genius at that. Pierre, that's, doing his thing, and we team up on different projects. The point I'm making is, all right, when we started all this stuff, we weren't perfect at it, and we weren't trying to be. We're just trying to be who we are. When I coach people, I try to coach them. The stuff I'm talking about now, we coach people through this stuff. And I tell people all the time, because people want to be fixed in a week or two. And I say, you know what, go find somebody else to coach you, because we're going to have to be at this for like 4, 5, 6 months. You mean to tell me you spend all your life doing something and expect to be on track in 30 days? Man, forget that 21 days to a habit. Sometimes it takes 5 months to a habit. You got to work at this stuff. So I only take on so many people that I coach. And when I coach them, I'm serious about it, because to me, if you're paying me, you better be serious about the fact you're paying me, because you're not going to come back to me 4 months from now and say it ain't working. If you don't apply it, it's not going to work. But the reality is, if you apply the principles that we talk about, overcoming these barriers and doing things that you're uncomfortable with, all of a sudden, everything starts to change. So here I go again. I said I'm only going to do 30 minutes, and I'm 34 minutes in. So are there any questions out there? I'm doing all this talking. Any questions? I can't necessarily see everybody's comments, because unless you connected with StreamYard, it's going to be very difficult for me to see your comments. But if anybody has any questions, I'm going to leave a few minutes for questions, because I want to make sure that we're not just doing this and kind of leaving folks hanging. So if you comments, but if anybody has any questions, if you have any questions, and I'm going on here because I can't see all the responses. So yeah, hold on just 1 second. See if there's any questions. Any questions? Just 1 second. I want to see something. So if you let me see. Let me go over here because this is the one I can see. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Very good. Okay. So if you have any questions, definitely. Now, if you don't have any questions now, you can send us a message. All right. Through DM me through LinkedIn. All right. Because this one, fear is huge. DM me through or message me, private message me through Facebook. But most importantly, sign up and download that podcast that Jay and I are doing. We already got the ball rolling with that. And that's obviously a weekly thing. It's free. It goes for we go for a while. We go for about 40 minutes. It's not one of quick hit podcasts. You know what I mean? And I'm going to tell you something. You know, the reality of the matter is this. The reality of the matter is this. If you don't overcome your fear, you'll never achieve your dreams. It's just not going to happen. If you don't overcome your fears, you'll never ever achieve your dreams. Cream, here's my website right there, man. All right. I mean, I forgot to put the www down there. Sorry. Yep. There it is. There you go. Yeah. So so the reality of the matter is this. I'm doing these every day until the new year. Tomorrow, yes, Christmas Day. I'm coming on again. You know what I mean? All right. But you know, tomorrow we're gonna be talking about the whole thing with friendships and people. That's a huge barrier to success in anything, because people get to the point where they think they know you, and then all of a sudden they start trying to define you. You see? So Aaron does have a question. Besides getting on and doing it, what else can you suggest to overcome fear? I just gave a few strategies, Aaron. I hope that you heard some of them. But one big one I would say is this. Many times you're going to have to face your fears. You know, people see me today. It's interesting. When I was back home, I ran into a girl that I went to school with in the 8th grade, and she was interested in becoming a speaker. And she said, "I'm just absolutely amazed that you are speaking and training and coaching and doing all the things you do." She said, "Because in middle school, you didn't say a word to nobody." I was so quiet. I would walk through the classes and do my thing, and then I'd be done with it, go home. I had a few friends. And so the thought of speaking for a living was insane. I didn't think that would be something I would do. But once I realized, you know, through my mentors and people that I had a gift to do this, you know what I mean? I got to give props to, you know, some people like Pastor Harry Jones and Doreen Jones in Media, Pennsylvania, who allowed me to do some ministry work in their church. And I started realizing I had a voice. And then from there, I started, you know, I joined the National Speakers Association. You had people like Les Brown and Zig Ziglar and all these people who just talk to you about maximizing your speaking gift. You know, I started to take it on. I challenged it. I challenged that fear, because it was a fear to me. I was one of the people in school, if a teacher said, ask a question, I would never put my hand up. But once I challenged that fear, took it on, then I became more confident over time. So Aaron, that's one thing. You got to take it on, you see? And I will say this to some people, if it's become too deeply psychological, you need to get some help. You need to get somebody there that can help you achieve that outcome. So listen, definitely go look at the podcast link that's embedded in this. Go sign up for the podcast. We're going to be doing a free webinar. I'm going to give you that information over the next few days. We're working out the details on some strategies for reinvention in 2021. But I'm just going to say this to you. It's so important. Don't get caught up in all the hype stuff, because we love hype in the beginning of the year, and that's nice. Go to the uncomfortable stuff. Let everybody else do the hype, but go in there where you got to make changes internally, and you got to push yourself to new limits, and you got to do things that the average person is unwilling to do. If you do those things, guess what? You'll never have to make another resolution in your life, because you will be living your resolutions. That's the difference. A lot of times we just so busy trying to do something. Listen, you'll live it once you get consistent at it. And that's when things start to change for you. So any messages, hit me up. You can private message me. We do coach people, individuals. I only take on certain clients. We got to find like it's a good match. I just had someone the other day, and I said, we got on the phone, found it was a good match. I said, okay, we can do this. Because listen, I'm not enough folks that's just looking for a bunch of numbers, because I want to make sure that who we're working with, it's a good fit. And we're a good fit for them. So if you're interested in that, reach out to us. We do speaking and training programs virtually all over the world, literally. I mean, last year was just amazing. I thought when the pandemic hit, it was going to decrease. It increased. I think in the month of September, we had something like 45 different events in 1 month virtually. It's crazy. All right. So hit us up if there's interest in that. That's my website there. And you can obviously message us through LinkedIn. So that's all I have for you today. I've gone way over my time. We'll be back tomorrow. Probably won't be 10 because I'm with my family and it's Christmas. So it'll probably be in the afternoon, around 1 o'clock, once everybody settles in. Thank you for your comments. I see a few hearts up there. Thank you. I appreciate that. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Have a Merry Christmas. May God bless you and your family. You know what I mean? I always say, as a believer, Jesus is the reason for the season. I feel like God gave me a purpose for my life, and I have, no shame on my game and letting folks know I love the Lord with all my heart and soul. This is who I am, and I'm able to be a better man, a better husband, and a better father because of the faith I have in him. So Merry Christmas to you, Stephanie. I'll be in touch with you soon. I got to get some stuff over to you. We'll get that to you soon, probably sometime next week. And then I'm going to go away next week, but I'm going to stay with this. I'm going to lay on the beach, and I'm just going to relax. That means I'm going somewhere warm. And just unwind and think about the year. I've already done my planning, so I'm good there. And, enjoy your families. God bless you. And we'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Thank you, Trent, my man from Syracuse. Take care. Merry Christmas to you. Bye-bye.